On Monday, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. In Palestine, Gaza experienced its first night in peace after 15 months of a genocidal operation. Venezuelan government announces planning for the first Bolivarian Shield 2025 exercises aimed at guaranteeing peace and democracy. Hello and welcome to From the South. I'm Alejandra Garcia from teleSUR Studios in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin with the news. Stay with us. On Monday, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States amidst growing concerns regarding his state policies. Unlike his first term, Republicans assume unified control of Washington and set out to reshape the country's institutions. Trump will act swiftly after the ceremony, with executive orders already prepared for his signature to calm down on border crossing, increase fossil fuel development and diversity and inclusion programs across the federal government. The executive orders are the first step in what Trump calls the complete restoration of the country and the revolution of common sense.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world. We will be the envy of every nation, and we will not allow ourselves to be taken advantage of any longer. During every single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
President Donald Trump declared that his return to power is a rejection of the radical and corrupt establishment he claims defined Joe Biden's presidency.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
A tide of change is sweeping the country. Sunlight is pouring over the entire world, and America has the chance to seize this opportunity like never before. But first, we must be honest about the challenges we face. While they are plentiful, they will be annihilated by this great momentum that the world is now witnessing in the United States of America. As we gather today, our government confronts a crisis of trust. For many years, a radical and corrupt establishment has extracted power and wealth from our citizens, while the pillars of our society lay broken and seemingly in complete disrepair.
The U.S. president also said his administration would deport millions of illegal migrants back to their country of origin.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
Pope Francis called President-elect Donald Trump's plan for mass deportations of illegal migrants from the United States shameful.
No, non ci avevamo sentito. Lui è venuto una volta qui.
No, we have not spoken. He came here once when he was president the other time, but we did not hear each other. But if true, this will be a disgrace, because it makes the poor wretches who have nothing pay the bill for the imbalance. This won't do. This is not the way to solve things. That's not how things are resolved.
Così non si risolvono le cose. Così non si risolve.
Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baqei said Iran hopes the incoming U.S. administration under Donald Trump adopts a realistic approach and show respect for international law.
We hope that the approaches and policies of the new U.S. government will be realistic and based on international law and respect for the interests and desires of the nations of the region, including the Iranian nation.
Before the inauguration of the new U.S. President Donald Trump, dozens of senior State Department officials handed in their resignation. As of noon, local time in Washington, D.C., senior officials resigned after being instructed by the president's advisors to leave their offices. According to the officials, the administration wants to go back to working with the people it has worked with before. Among those who resigned are John Bass, acting Undersecretary of State for Management and Political Affairs, and Geoffrey Pyatt, Undersecretary of State for Energy Resources. Brazil's President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva said he hoped the United States would remain a historical partner of his country after Donald Trump's return to the White House on Monday.
There are people who say that Trump's election could cause problems for world democracy. Trump was elected to govern the United States, and I, as President of Brazil, hope that he has a successful administration, that the U.S. people improve, and that the U.S. continue to be the historical partner of Brazil. On our side, we don't want any fights with Venezuela, with the U.S., with China, with India, or with Russia. What we want is peace.
And now we have a short break coming up, but first remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. And as we informed on our first segment, on Monday, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. And in this context, we contact our special envoy to Washington, D.C., Carlos Montero. Hi, Carlos. What can you share with us at this hour?
These hours, we are processing what Trump said after swearing to be the 47th President of this country. There were so many things he said, so many things that they are impossible to do, that, there are different reactions. He talks, after swearing in, he talked about Panama, that the canal is going to go back to USA. Something is absolutely impossible. The president of Panama already said, that's not going to happen. He talked about immigration, something he said a lot during the campaign about deportation. Something is scaring a lot of people here in the capital and in the whole country. Let's see what's happened tomorrow. Maybe in Chicago they're going to start massive deportation. He talked about the situation in the border. He's going to declare emergency, something he's already active. There is an application that people who wants to apply to come to this country legally, they can ask for an appointment in this application. The application is discontinued in this moment, so that a lot of people are upset for that, because if they want to come here legally, that application was something was helping them a lot. Now they cannot do it, so that is really something. Maybe they're going to try to come illegally, you don't know, to cross the border. He's going to send more militaries to the border. He talked about Mars. He said that the American flag is going to be on Mars. Elon Musk, one of his faithful helpers since he won the election, was really happy. He was in the Congress with also Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, was there. Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, was there. Also, there were not many people because it was done in a small place due to the weather. It's very cold. The idea was to do it outside, but they have to do it in the rotunda of the Congress, a place that no more than 300 people they were allowed. But the people who want to see Donald Trump here in the Capitol, they were expecting 200,000 people. I'm sure much less came when they found out on Friday that it's going to be inside the ceremony and all the traditional parade and festivities. But all those people, they are in a stadium that's really close to where we are, a few blocks. There is a lot of security there. It's called the Capital One Arena. Is where the basketball team, the men's and women WNBA, NBA, they play. They are the Wizards of Washington. It has a capacity for 20,000 people. They are there right now, and Donald Trump, after signing those executive orders, he said they're going to be around 100. He's in the White House right now, and he's going to go there. Over there are a lot of people waiting. They want to celebrate the presidency, the comeback of Donald Trump. During the whole afternoon, there were different groups, different celebrities talking to the crowd. Some of them, they spent the whole night outside, even extremely cold. It was minus 10 degrees Celsius in the middle of the night, but they were camping outside. So today, this morning, when they opened the doors, they were the first one to get in, and there was a big screen, and they can watch the ceremony in the Congress in that place. Trump is going to be there, and he's going to talk to them, and we are going to pay attention what he has to say, but we are already still processing all those announcements he did today in his first speech as president of the USA. I'm going back to you, to the studio.
Thanks for all the information. We were speaking to our special envoy, Carlos Montero, in the framework of the swearing-in ceremony of President-elect Donald Trump. Now let's move on to other informations. Gaza experienced its first night in peace after 15 months of a genocidal operation that daily bombed the Palestinian enclave. Humanitarian organizations estimated an average of 846 daily attacks against the Strip. 7 months ago, an investigation by the Euro-Mediterranean Observatory for Human Rights calculated that about 70,000 tons of bombs had been dropped by the Israeli occupation, a figure that even then exceeded the bombings of the Second World War. The United Nations reported that 6 out of 10 buildings have been destroyed. This Sunday night, not a single bomb fell in Gaza for the first time after more than 47,000 deaths. At least 200 trucks with humanitarian aid entered Gaza from Egypt on Monday, bringing the total to 830. Tension reigns in the Strip. Early on Monday, a powerful explosion in the northern West Bank killed an Israeli reservist and wounded 2 others. Occupation forces said that the explosion occurred when the patrol vehicle was passing by. The government of the Strip has also reported incidents in Khan Yunis, where the Israeli troops are said to have fired several shots. The United Nations Office for Humanitarian Affairs reports that 92% of homes in the Gaza Strip have been destroyed by U.S. bombs sent to Israel. World Health Organization representative in Palestine, Rick Peppercorn, says that after the hopeful ceasefire, a huge challenge lies ahead. The health system in Gaza is virtually destroyed, as are the 436,000 homes that are reduced to rubble or are uninhabitable. Meanwhile, Palestinians who have returned to their neighborhoods are trying to recover the bodies of their loved ones who still remain under the rubble. The Israeli occupation forces have stricken hundreds of buildings in southern Lebanon, violating the ceasefire agreement in force since November 27, 2024. The review of satellite data, open source images, and interviews with United Nations special envoys unfolded the Israeli violations of the ceasefire agreement in Lebanon. The continuous aggressions towards the Lebanese people, even after the implementation of the agreement, have generated uncertainty about the reliability of the deal, which would end its initial 60-day term on January 26, 2025. Subsequently, the resistance Lebanese movement has counterattacked Israeli military sites. In addition, Hezbollah insisted on the repeated Israeli violations of the agreement. On Monday, attacks attributed to the Rapid Support Forces of Darfur, northern Sudan, killed at least 22 people and wounded 20 others. Security Ministry Director General Ibrahim Yader said these latest bombings have affected the towns of Kadada and other nearby villages. Moreover, the Jazeera Conference, a Sudanese civil society group, said 6 civilians were killed and 3 others kidnapped, including a doctor, in attacks by the Rapid Support Forces in the state. We have a second short break coming up, but before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English, there you'll be able to rewatch our interviews, top stories, special broadcastings, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break, don't go away. Welcome back to From the South. The president of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, headed the planning meeting for the popular military and police exercises Bolivarian Shield 2025 to be held from 22nd to 23rd of January. In addition to the head of state, the Minister of Defense, Vladimir Padrino, the Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, and those responsible for national security and defense also took part. The exercises that are traditionally carried out in the Bolivarian nation have the fundamental objective of guaranteeing the peace, defense, and democratic stability of the nation. In addition, in Venezuela, the alliance of the people with the armed forces and the police gives a sovereign, participatory, and protagonist character to these exercises. And this Monday, the Defense Ministry issued an official statement on the military exercises to be held this week. The statement reads, "The National Bolivarian Armed Forces informed the Venezuelan people that on January 22nd and 23rd of this year, the first Bolivarian Shield 2025 exercise in defense of peace and democracy will be carried out." It adds that this new popular police military exercise will be carried out with a high level of strategic, operational, and tactical innovation, optimizing in its different phases the interoperability between the organized people, military units, and citizen security organizations, deploying with greater synchronization in multiple weapon systems and mixed rapid reaction units. Colombia's Defense Minister Iván Velázquez has said that violence will not be allowed to take over Catatumbo given the difficult situation in the northeast of the country. He reaffirmed that the government is working to ensure the safety and protection of communities and recalled that support lines have been set up to assist people at risk. He stressed that President Gustavo Petro has given priority to the protection of life and humanitarian aid. In his first appearance since his medical leave, he also sent a message of thanks and appreciation to the security forces deployed in the northern of Santander via Army radio.
Con ustedes. Respaldamos.
We are with you. We support every effort you make to stabilize this territory and to restore peace to its inhabitants. To the communities, I want to reiterate that you are not alone. We understand the difficulties you face, and we are here to protect you. We have deployed our troops throughout the region, reinforcing our presence with new contingents and advanced technology to ensure your safety.
In Ecuador, 16 nominees for the 2025 presidential election participated Sunday in the first debate in which they made their proposals to face domestic challenges and crises. Gallup polls had revealed that candidate Luisa González, a follower of former President Rafael Correa, leads the voting intention with 40%, while President of Ecuador and contender Daniel Noboa comes next with 33%. Therefore, estimates indicate the 14 others on the race do not have much chances to win elections. Nonetheless, all of them made their proposals on main concerning issues as security, public services, and economy in a 90-second keynote address on the debate split into 2 sessions of 8 nominees.
Today we have seen how the new Ecuador continues to triumph against that old Ecuador. That old Ecuador that only seeks to slander, that only seeks to delay our success and our growth.
Let us not see our families bleeding, migrating, not having a job, going hungry. Enough of so much fighting and confrontation. Here we are with serious ideas and proposals.
Cuban Minister of Transportation Eduardo Rodriguez Davila announced having initiated a pilot project to contribute to medical attention in Havana. The minister detailed that the plan is performed in coordination with the Ministry of Public Health and the government of Havana. The Transportation Office has provided 15 new ambulances with duly trained drivers, and the healthcare system will warranty medical personnel and equipment to assist emergencies. This project is part of one of the agreements signed at the past International Transport and Logistics Fair held in April 2024. The Cuban people paid homage Monday to the 13 combatants who died on January 7th fire of a military warehouse in eastern Holguin province. The commemorative ceremony was held at Major General Calixto Garcia Revolution Square in Holguin. Both family members and military noted they sacrificed their lives in their attempt to put out the fire. Therefore, Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel decreed official mourning in Cuba from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. local time on Monday. Investigations indicated an electrical failure lighted up the fire onto the military warehouse on January 7th. And we have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram and TikTok as well. For Telesur English, I'm Alejandra Garcia. Thank you for watching.